Alright then, ladies and gents, so firstly we are going to look at a Kaspa's price action. Of course we are going to cover BTC and a couple of different charts for overall crypto markets such as altcoins. So and now guys, that is a 4-hourly time frame for Kaspa. So referring to the bullish pennant, obviously we have closed above and now obviously we are pulling back, and that is probably due to the reason that we have reached that level of previous resistance that is sitting around here closely to previous all-time highs. Of course, previous all-time highs, most likely we are going to see further rejection from that, another pump, then rejection, and then closing above, and then perhaps retest as a support, and then the next pump. But obviously that's me talking about foreseeable future. That is a 4-hourly time frame, guys. So let's have a look. We are going to most likely experience that bullish cross on the 4-hourly time frame sooner rather than later, I believe, which is going to give us a more fuel to retest this line as a resistance, right? And hopefully we are going to smash through it, in foreseeable future. Now let's actually go into the daily time frame to see what is going on, right? I am still keeping up with my thesis of Kaspa reaching this first level, 24, and I do believe that these are going to be new all-time highs. Of course I could be wrong, we will see. The next couple of days are actually going to determine whether I'm right or not. Now if it comes to stochastic RSI, daily time frame is showing that most likely we are going to see a pullback. And now this doesn't necessarily have to mean that we are going to go, right away to this area, because we could do something similar like here, right? We could go into that mid-range and do something like this. And in this scenario, obviously Kaspa would, close above that resistance. Now, a little bit longer time frame, for Kaspa. Also, what's brewing is the fact that Kaspa is actually, building, this bullish pennant, I believe, or rising triangle, however we want to call it. Nevertheless, this pattern, in my opinion, is bullish, right? So target for this, but obviously that is longer time frame because it's a daily, could be, let's say, 42 cents for Kaspa in, let's say, coming weeks. Who really knows? Obviously Kaspa is a type of a crypto that is not going to pump like meme coins. So guys, let's see what is going to happen in a couple of days with Kaspa. I do believe that we are still early in Kaspa, and I'll tell you why, right? So before I'm going to tell you why, let's actually have a look quickly at Bitcoin and Bitcoin's dominance chart, because obviously that's the most important, in fact, right? So many people are basically, being shaken out for BTC right now, right? So what is going on, right? We do have the first falling wedge, which we have, broke above from, and that was obviously a bullish price action. Nevertheless, we are, ranging in that level, and we cannot really break above that level of what, 71,000 roughly, right? Actually, the all-time highs were 73. So we cannot really, break above that. Now, we had the second falling wedge, and probably many people were, longing BTC's price, and then we have experienced that, fake out towards the downside. And now, why do I say fake out? Maybe it's not necessarily a fake out. Let's actually have a look at ETF inflows, all right? So as of yesterday, we are sitting at 73 million USD if it comes to positive inflows. But we also have to remember, guys, that, there are day traders in this market. And now I do believe that Bitcoin remains bullish. And why? Because Bitcoin still holds that support of 59,000 USD roughly. So that is obviously a bullish sign. But now let's actually have a look at the weekly for BTC, guys, right? So this is what's brewing for weekly stochastic RSI for BTC, right? This is where we are at. Okay, we are pulling back again, etc., blah, blah, blah. Nevertheless, stochastic RSI is showing us that sooner or later we are going to see the pump towards the upside, right? So if you ask me, I wouldn't say that this is a good time to, buy BTC, right? Probably is to, a good time to sell, right? I believe that every single dip is meant for buying if it comes to BTC. And now for those that are, paper hands, I believe that this, should be the time when you're accumulating Bitcoin and crypto, in fact, right? So, this pullback that we are experiencing in sideways price action, I don't think that this is a reason to being worried, to being honest, guys. Now, let's have a look at the dominance, because obviously dominance is going to show us, when we can potentially expect, that beautiful old season that we are all waiting for. 2017, when Bitcoin saw significant drop if it comes to dominance, we've experienced a beautiful old season, right? Just like in 2021 and we are going to see how things are going to play out in 2024. Nevertheless, I believe that fireworks are yet to come if it comes to Bitcoin's dominance. That candle technically could be an indicator that we could see more downside for Bitcoin's dominance. And one thing to notice, guys, is that Bitcoin dominance isn't going to drop at instant, right? Because let me zoom it in a little bit. Of course, that is a weekly chart, right? So we have to remember about that. That is going to come slowly. And as you guys can see, we had a drop, right? And then sideways price action, a little bit of, you know, upward momentum if it comes to Bitcoin's dominance, and then drop, and then pump again, and then pump again, right? Which means that altcoins are obviously going to be moving up and down. Nothing is going to go in one move, just like in the previous cycle as well, right? So that's something that we have to remember about. And now finally, let's have a look at the total crypto market cap. Obviously that's including everything on a weekly time frame, guys, right? So, you know, we have barely entered that, you know, white box of mine. And I do believe that we have lots of time, right? And, you know, if we are going to follow this basic upwards trend line for, you know, the overall crypto market, we technically could reach, let's say, around, well, 8 trillion, perhaps even more, right? So, and now if you're going to pick the right altcoins, I believe you've got a possibility to, you know, become rich this cycle. Now let's have a look at total 2, which means that it's excluding Bitcoin. And of course, it means that it's including Ethereum's market cap as well. Now we haven't even reached the previous all-time highs if it comes to the altcoins. So we are ranging in here, you know, that obviously is a bit of a reflection of what is Bitcoin doing. And of course, altcoins are going to follow what BTC is doing, guys, right? So, you know, yet we first have to smash through that, resistance, and then actually close above it properly, and then see some more upside and probably, you know, gear up towards the previous all-time highs, which are here. So guys, again, we do have a lot of time. Okay, now next one is total crypto market cap that is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum on a weekly chart. All right, so as you guys can see, we are trading a little bit below, and we are being currently supported in here. Let me just zoom it in a little bit, and we are, let's say, roughly in that level of a support. And now, guys, we are experiencing that bounce, as you can see in here. Stochastic RSI also is showing that we have properly bottomed out, which in my opinion means that, you know, sooner or later we are going to experience more upside. Of course, we could see some shakeout again, right? I'm not saying that we won't. Everything is possible in this market. And now I believe that this chart is the best one to kind of see what's going on with Kaspa, all right? So that is a total crypto market cap that is excluding top 10 on a weekly chart. First of all, we do have our beautiful cap and handle. And of course, you know, what we are experiencing is that pullback that the whole market is basically experiencing, including BTC. So nothing to being worried about. Let's say we can, you know, extend this and, you know, we still got our handle, right? Nevertheless, guys, we do have big targets for this cycle, right? So let's say if altcoins are excluding top 10, obviously, are going to peak out, let's say, at $2 trillion from $229 billion. That's huge, guys, all right? If you're going to pick right altcoins, of course. And I believe that Kaspa is one of those right altcoins. And same scenario, stochastic RSI properly bottomed out. Now let's actually throw a Gaussian channel on it, all right? And now if we are going to look at that Gaussian channel when it actually flipped green, it was in December 2023, right? So last time it flipped green on a weekly chart, that was in March 2020, and then it flipped red in July 2022. So that was well over 1 year, guys. And as of now, let's actually quickly have a look. That's around, what, 27 bars, right? So guys, we still have a lot of time, I believe. Let me compare it to this one in here. That's going to be what, 120 bars. So, you know, we are in 1/4, I believe, you know, in that cycle. Of course, if we are going to compare it this way, right, there's many ways we can compare it, guys, but you know what I'm trying to get at in here is that we still have time. And also one chart that is total crypto market cap excluding top 10 dominance, right? Please remember that this is not exactly the same. It's very similar but not the same, right? And now, guys, last time we have dipped if it comes to dominance last cycle for these alts, then we saw a huge recovery. This is where all of the hamsters were shaken out of the market, so big money can actually, you know, push the price towards the upside and of course dump on these people, right? This is something that we do have to, you know, remember about. And now this is what we are experiencing right now in this cycle. Well, of course, despite the fact that we are experiencing some bullishness if it comes to stochastic RSI. And now, guys, we can technically still dip a little bit below and retest this level as a support. This is definitely not out of the question. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could. All right. I believe that, you know, the worst is behind us. And now USDT dominance chart, guys. All right. So this is my sell zone in here, right? I'll probably going to be cashing out a little bit earlier than that, but now we are sitting at what, 5%. And let's say 250 is a, you know, let's say mid-range if it comes to, you know, USDT dominance. And obviously, you know, if USDT's dominance is going up, like right now, altcoins are pulling back, just like as you can see. Of course, not all of them, but, you know, quite few. So coming back to Kaspa, guys, I think that we are still early in Kaspa. Of course, you know, buying now is definitely, you know, a bit worse than, let's say, buying here. Nevertheless, you know, looking towards the future, you know, this is still early for Kaspa. Guys, thank you very much, and I wish you having a great day. Peace and love, crypto.